Over here we have Oooooozzy against Marshall with Deep and Marshall bringing Karma as Zero. So
Yeah.
in this particular matchup, what are you what do you want to see, Zero?
So this is a really good keep from Aussie. Just you know, have all your Maokais in hand because usually the way you win this game is not through combat damage. You want to mill out your opponent using
Hmm?
a flipped Maokai, but I mean this is just an unfavored matchup for Deep against SK. But good start here from Aussie with the direct dredgers.
But however, the three spells that got burned over here is non-recoverable. I think there's a runation inside. All runation and something else.
Yeah,
Traps.
I could. So I mean, Ruination is an okay burn. Miscall, not so much. You can use Miscall to bring your toss creatures back.
Or he could
So
miscall to bring back his shipwreck hauler that got from Troll Hunter.
yeah, yeah, from the last game. So that play isn't open anymore. No more Hearthstone moments here in the finals. But we see a Toad coming down from Aussie's side and Marshall now with answering with his own Ezreal. So the way that YBRCY wants to approach this matchup is he there's not much that Aussie's deck can do against an Ezreal. There's just Grasp and there's turn 6 Devourer. But until then, the Ezreal is pretty safe in generating these free Mystic shots on Marshall's side.
So we probably would not see the Ezreal going down anytime soon.
Yeah, and we see in Aussie's hand he doesn't have the Grasp of the Undying, so definitely safe for this Ezreal. And if ever that Devourer of the Depths try to take out this Ezreal, he can just spend a burn spell to save it. Honestly, really awesome start from Aussie's side. The Maokai sticking that turn and just having more toss this turn is definitely what you want to see from the deep player side when going up against Ez Karma.
And he also have a sapling to deal with here at this point of time, but Marshall probably has a answer for that immediate.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, Marshall should be thinking about really getting this Maokai off the board as fast as possible because it really just turbos Deep's game plan into getting to 15 cards. But the problem here is that Aussie already has the second copy of Maokai in his hand. Deep meditation now from Marshall, fishing for the spells that can answer Aussie's board.
Probably has a thermal beam or the Maokai immediate.
Yeah.
So that being said, with the Valfist in hand, Aussie has the answer for the Ezreal at this point.
Mm-hmm. This Ezreal is definitely going down with the Vile Feast in hand. And Marshall probably has another copy of Ezreal that he's not going to be putting down anytime soon.
And once reaching deep, the Devourer of the Depth will be at 7/7, and it might be of a problem to deal with, especially up against Kama or as.
Yeah. And we're either going to see Devourer or Maokai. So Ozzy here going for the Devourer play on the Eye of the Dragon, getting rid of as many blockers as possible and getting in his damage into Marshall's Nexus.
Probably would not see that Maokai dropping anytime soon, as he has any ways to protect it or guaranteeing dropping Maokai for level up ability.
Yeah, I mean this is Ozzy's last Maokai, so he's gonna have to be careful with it if he wants to win through milling out Marshall.
Becomes a missed shot hunt. Power of the
So Marshall looking basically saying that this Eye of the Dragon is
important.
important in this matchup. Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't have done that.
coming in with a static shock onto both players, gaining so much more stacks onto the end. So, being the target, Drip Room Wanderer and Devour of the Deep target of shock. Why do you think? Does he have another static shock?
Yeah, he's telegraphing that he has another static shock in hand to get rid of this Dead Bloom Wanderer and the Devour of the Depths on this turn, and he's probably going to look for a block on the Thorny Toad, because at this point it almost doesn't matter if you get the 2 extra toss cards from Thorny Toad, because he's gonna get to deep anyway.
And especially he has a Maokai and a Drip Room Wanderer ready to go here for this turn.
So dropping the Maokai this early, it feels like Oooooozzy is going for a play that involves the winning through Nexus damage for sure, because this Maokai is incredibly vulnerable right now.
Especially when Marshall is at 7 mana and lots of things.
Yeah. But the thing is, if he does Static Shock, he has no more. He doesn't have the option to kill the Maokai this turn.
So we might see Uzi trying to kill before fitting a sapling from the Maokai.
Yeah, and opting to get these Joel Hunters to get probably one of the Eye of the Dragons
Terror die.
out of here.
Only he got a shipwreck holder though.
For the next turn. So second
Probably
stat, yeah,
might
second
see a
static
Turbo
shock.
Beam.
Yeah,
Probably won't be seeing any Eye of the Dragon dying this turn.
yeah, no Eye of the Dragon dying this turn. So going for a safe block here, using the 1/3, just so you get around Whale or another Vile Feast, picking up one of your Eye of the Dragons.
Oh, did the stream just like glitch or something?
I think Aussie stream kinda glitched.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Okay, it's back now.
Eh,
It's fine
fixed
now.
it. Laughing at it. So having another Jaw Hunter off the top is so good for Uzi right here.
Yeah, you want to be generating value of these Joel Hunters. I mean, is Karma now? I mean, Karma now coming down from Marshall. So is he saying that he has a spell to protect this Karma, right?
Yeah, but with 4 mana up, he could possibly deny the Obliteration, and at the same time, even with a Static Shock, could or a Mystic Shot could just fizzle the Obliteration.
Yeah, like literally any burn spell will do it at this point.
Unless Uzi has confidence to get into deep turn, which highly unlikely to reach it this turn.
I think next turn would be a safe bet to get to
Yeah.
deep with Maokai up and Dead Bloom Wanderer in hand. So a deny now coming down from Marshall, preventing these Devourer of the Depths from eating up Karma.
But however, he has the sapling to deal with it. He has the draw hunter to going right now with an abyss eye.
So now Ozzy just has to kind of respect Will of Ionia, because we haven't seen a single Will of Ionia come down from Marshall's side. So dropping a big creature here might not be the best play. So, and Maokai also 5 cards away from flipping as well.
5
But
cards
the
or 5 death.
but the thing is, like, Karma is gonna be leveling up soon, and Ezreal.
Wow. 3 copy of Terror of the Tides from 3 Jaw Hunters.
As as well. A Joel Hunter's here now from Oooooozzy. Gonna try and pick up this karma. But
And
an
here,
immediate concussive bomb.
So it's safe to
Joel,
say the karma is safe.
yeah, and Joel Hunters has just been generating these
Terror of the Tides.
Tides. Yeah, there's already 3 in hand for Oooooozzy, so not really what he wants to see here. He might want to see more Devourer of the Depths actually, because that helps him more in the matchup. But
But
it
it
looks
seems
like
like
his
running
RNG
low.
has ran out, bro, from the treasure trove in semis.
Dude, I swear he used up all his luck over here.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Here we see a flip karma and a flip karma at 10. At 10 mana is really dangerous right now
Yeah.
with a full hand from Marshall's side.
So I think with the Dead Bloom Wanderer, Maokai is gonna flip already for Uzi's side. But leveled up Ezreal and leveled up Karma now on Marshall's side of the board. And this flipped Maokai is going to deny the rummage play from Marshall. He can't do multiple draw cards now, or else he'll lose the game.
But however, the Marshall actually have so much opportunity to game right here with just 9 mana.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he's holding a lot of card draw spells, he
Might
can't
be in
win the
trouble.
he can't win the game. And I think he's used up most of his burn spells on creatures, right? Like we've seen a Mystic Shot.
Yep.
Or 2.
One
Yeah, I
is
think
S.
2.
Yeah, 2 miss. Here we see 2 spell coming off from Marshall. 3 spells.
So that's 10 damage right off the bat. That's 8 damage.
And that is game.
That's just game. Dude, super fair deck. It's the most fair
20
deck.
just like this, the Towing Toad is not gonna help him.
Yeah, not at all. Because it's just straight burn from 20. And there we see like the power of Ezreal Karma picking up these mid-range decks. Like if your game plan is too slow, well, I'm just gonna get to 10 mana and start burning you from 20 to 0. Like not even a problem.
Easy. Yeah, but however, the difficult deck is probably out of the way for Uzi, and from here on, probably might have a smoother finals for himself.
Yeah, I mean, you have to win all 3 games. Like the first game is okay, like you won the first game, but you have to win all 3 games with all 3 of your decks. And definitely the worst matchup for Aussie has been out of the way. So now he has a higher chance of winning with his decks with Ezreal Karma already out of Marshall's lineup.
So, what do you think Marshall would bring for the next?
I think he'll bring Ash. So yeah, so
He did.
he did because it plays well into Demacia and also plays well into Deep. I think so. This is where we see the matchup variants that I was talking about. So now Deep was skewed into Ezreal Karma, and since Ezreal Karma is favored in the matchup, Marshall had a higher chance of winning, and he did just that in the last match. And now we see Ash Freeze coming into the queue against Aussie's Deep, and it's slightly favored for Ash Freeze, but those little edges coming into matchups is sometimes just enough to win you games.
Yep, and Uzi having kind of an awkward hand. Yes, he does have the tosses, but probably has no footwork after that as well.
Mm-hmm. But he has a good, decent way of controlling the board with 2 grasp of Undying here in the hand. And you know, triple toss not a bad start for Aussie, not at all.
Yeah,
And
but however,
this
they both draw hunters for his from his side
Mhm.
of the deck. So
Yeah, and in this high level matches, you're definitely looking into what your opponent is tossing. So because since the deck list is open, right? You get to see exactly what is left in his deck. And just like that, man, like another Joel Hunter's off the ripping it off the top of the deck. Doesn't matter if he
doesn't
threw
matter.
away both.
I'm a champion. I
Yeah, you're
draw
gonna
like a
draw.
champion.
Yeah, drawing like a champion here in DOR 12 finals.
You actually gonna get a shipwreck holder again of that draw hunter.
Yeah, I think yeah the empty pass here. So Marshall has a couple of options on turn 4. He can drop Ash, but it's gonna be picked up by Grass of the Undying. So opting to go for this Culling Strike on the
Straight from under. And then
Deadbloom Wanderer.
that Valve Feast create another 1/1 spider to block the Everson.
Hmm.
Abyssal Eye coming from draw hunter. What do you think? Not shipwreck holder, but spider.
I think it's fine when you get to deep, but Abyssal Ice is one of the weaker sea monsters if you're not in deep territory yet because uh 3 power, 3 toughness is just very vulnerable to a lot of spells.
Dropping down the Abyssal Eye, no questions asked. Immediately an Icefield Archer replies by not allowing it to attack.
Yeah, and I think it was safe for him to develop the Abyssal Eye there anyway because he already saw one Calling Strike out of Marshall. So it's gonna feel safe for him to develop a Abyssal Eye.
Yep, and the Brittle still over here on the draw hunter, where the
Yeah.
Glory Seeker get a free kill.
Yeah, so that just wins him a nice trade because now he can also pull the Abyssal Eye, but Ozzy might opt to protect it with Grasp of the Undying.
It is a free damage for him. At the same time, he gets a draw upon every
Yeah.
turn. Obsessor over here drawing him cards.
Thinking about the War of the Depths, probably thinking what could punish him, but I don't think there's much that Marshall can do here unless he does have the Fury of the North.
Other than that, Marshall has no answers. Power.
Yeah. So we see the third Omen Hawk now, and we haven't seen much of the buff creatures. We've seen the Omen Hawk and this Trifarian Assessor. So he has like I think one more in hand that has a buff that we haven't seen yet.
Probably might be an Ash or Sejuani.
It might be a Sejuani.
That being said, Ozzy also has a Ruination, and just in case wow, on Marshall's side of the board.
Yeah. So Ruination, a welcome addition to Ozzy's hand to try to keep the pressure off of him in a later turn where Marshall is going to be committing more creatures on the board.
And the third copy of Grasp of the Undying guy is drawing every single thing and copies at it.
So now we have the tools to control the board. I think Ozzy now just has to draw into his other sea monsters so he can be more stable in board control. Else, these control cards mean nothing. If he draws more Dreg Dredgers or more Dead Bloom Wanderers, it's not gonna matter much. He needs to draw into his late game threats already.
So the ball currently on Marshall's side of the court right now. And another Trafarian Assessor, drawing him 3 more cards. So Trafarian Assessor is probably like the MVP deck.
Yeah, dude, I told you, man. This Trafarian Assessors draws like 2 million cards in a matchup.
Use the hand really fast.
Good thing is, like, against the Farron turn, he has triple Grasp of the Undying, so it feels like each Decimate is just getting off 1 damage, and that's not a lot.
You have a Decimate, I have a Grasp.
Especially that a leveled up Nautilus just laughs at like an 8/8 Captain Farron. Like 7 mana 13/13 versus 8 mana 8/8.
But he has 3 Decimate.
Yeah, yeah. But he has 3 grasps. I like so this just invalidates the Captain Farron play if he manages to draw a
I'm tossing 2 Riptides away from his deck. He's out of Riptide at this point of time.
yeah, but he goes in deep and it allows his Abyssal Eye to
Get the
live.
trick.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to keep off the Trafarian. That's not allowing any more 5 health creatures. But that is
Yeah. I think it's pretty important in this matchup that you don't let the Ash player keep refilling his hand with multiple copies of Trafarian Assessor. But there's only one left in the deck.
oh, and
Yeah.
a Kindly Tavern Keeper coming to save the Trafarian. That's a immediate
Hmm.
and a trash off the top. I don't think this trash is gonna.
Well, it can be here to get some stacks and get you a free Nautilus. But other than that, at this point of the game where Avarosan Heart card has come down for the Ash player, it's not gonna trade against much.
Suffer. So as most of the creatures have already like been out of like 3 attack range, health range.
Yeah, yeah. And another Abyssal Eye now coming from Oooooozzy, which is a Vile Feast on the Omen Hawk.
He needs blocker at this point of time.
Yeah. And Marshall's Reckoning from the deck has just gotten infinitely worse because it just picks up his creatures now instead of picking up the other creatures from Ozzy's side.
Because Ozzy's creatures has all been buffed last 3.
Yeah, now you have to combo Freeze into Reckoning. So thinking about if he should play Thresh, but that feels like playing too much into a Reckoning play. So definitely not the way you want to go about this turn.
Here we see Marshall time make his nick.
Hmm. I mean, I think Ruination is an okay spot here if Marshall decides to develop one more creature. Otherwise, he can go for the Abyssal Eye instead. So a lot of lines here being considered by Ozzy. So opting to just pass that turn.
Better move. Just drive past him.
If if he dry passes that turn, I think he just wants to get more value out of this Ruination. But at at this point, at this high level gameplay, I don't think anyone's gonna give him more
Opportunity.
value out of the Ruination. Yeah, I mean he can close out the game as well with just double Abyssal Eye, but it can get punished by just playing one Harsh Winds.
Right. Rest of the dying. This time probably unable to fix off Iron to save. So Marshall really wants that Tessa to survive.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just want to keep having board control, and that's exactly what's happening. Uzi hasn't drawn into his Nautilus yet as well, so
Yeah.
that's something.
Neither has he drawn into his Maokai goal right now.
So Marshall probably thinking if he should commit more to the board, or is this board enough? Like, is this board gonna get a ruination already? I think if he develops one more creature, Ozzy is going to open attack next turn and just go for a ruination. Yeah. Or he can risk it all here by dropping the Abyssal Eye and going for an open attack, hoping that Marshall doesn't have anything to deal with
Both elusive target.
both elusive targets.
So here we see Marshall passing the turn over from the Abyssal Eye. I don't think Power of the Dead. That's a draw from.
Now it feels weird to drop the, the
Yeah.
Abyssal Eye here. Because now you don't have Ruination open as well. If he dropped it last turn, he would have Ruination open.
Pointing into it. Say this is a brain play.
Because if he was dropping it anyway on this turn, he should have just dropped it last turn.
That's done.
The only way you didn't drop last turn is if you were going to open attack with Abyssal Eye.
Comes the Ice Veil Archer. Giving Marshall the opening to act. Particularly. Like,
Yeah, we could see another Brittle Steel, and we could see the Reckoning in play already. But the Grasp of the Undying is gonna pick up the 6/2 if the Trifarian Assessor if he goes for a Reckoning play this early.
the Nautilus off the top for Oooooozzy over here. Will he drop the trash or will he go for the Undying on the Assassin?
I think he can drop Thresh at this point. Like it, the Ash Freeze deck doesn't have any burst anyway, so you don't have to worry much about that.
Here comes the Reckoning, clearing off every creature that's 5 attack and below.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall an opening over here to go for an open attack.
He doesn't even have to block, I think. You can go for a Grasp of the Undying, but if you don't block, you can get punished by a Fury of the North.
Probably a Nautilus in his call over here would be great.
Yeah, you get back the Abyssal Eye, which can close out the game. And you can put down a Devourer of the Depths as well for whatever Marshall is going to be doing.
Here comes the Citrani. And the Devourer
Yeah.
there immediately onto the Current Assessor.
Yeah, and good thing it's not leveled up, so it can't deny the Miscall. I mean the Abyssal Eye from hitting. So the Miscall now here, trying to get the Abyssal
Crystal
Eye.
Eye.
Yeah, it's just how he wins the game. The Nautilus at this point doesn't matter much.
Has a 6/6 elusive target staring at Marshall's face right now. And the Jettison off the top is not gonna help him right now. And would this, allow Uzi to close the game? No, he has a harsh wind freezing both creatures. Not allowing Uzi.
Yeah, that was definitely telegraphed since a few turns ago. Having the harsh winds to stop any of the pressure once it gets too much. So exactly the way you want to be using harsh winds here is use your life as a resource, and then eventually use harsh winds to protect yourself from these lethal attacks coming down from creatures.
Yeah, the grabs of the Undying. Guys with Archer back to 7. Preferring Glory Seeker at this point doesn't really for the over here.
Well, he has the option not to block anyway. Well, I mean he has to block the 4
Yeah, he
4.
has to block.
Yeah, but he's not dead to the Sejuani, if ever. Because definitely this Trefarian Glory Seeker is gonna get to pick up the Devourer of the Depths. If he doesn't open attack, he's gonna get punished by Devourer of the
Ruination.
Depths on Oooooooozzy's side or Ruination.
Especially Marshall being at 2 cards in his hand right now. He's running really low in options.
The thing about this attack though is it's not really threatening. So Marshall is really thinking about if he should develop before attacking. But here we see him sensing danger and just going in for the open attack. Getting in 4 damage from the Tavern Keeper, keeping his Sejuani alive, but this Devourer of the Depths
Just
is
gonna
gonna
take
pick
it.
up. Yeah.
So 6 cards left in the deck, probably another Nautilus and Maokai are possibly inside the deck right now.
Mm-hmm.
So going for the
But
Jettison over here would guarantee a champion.
yeah, but I don't think you want to do that because Nautilus already leveled up, and that means you're tossing away
Oh, right.
your sea monsters.
And a Terror of the Types coming off the top. It could be big for Uzi over here for this Terror of the Tide.
Yeah, if he doesn't have another harsh winds here, this could end the game. I mean, if he has just one freeze effect, I think he'll be fine.
Flash Freeze would.
Oh, that actually survives the -2
Wow.
from the Terror of the Tides.
So bringing Masha down to 1. And a Yeti coming down. It's kind of. Uzi might be in a situation right now with 2 just blocking.
Yeah, and this might just be game for Marshall as long as he open attacks, and he's gonna do just that. And he already knows that all the Grasp of the Undying has been spent, so it was a clean open attack from Marshall's side. So clean 2-0 now for Marshall.